In January, we did my annual 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program where we looked at one thing you could do each day. Well, we're back with the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. In the chaotic world of 2025 and beyond, compliance will become even more important, and you staying on top of your game will help your company move forward. Now, a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Welcome to the Compliance Tip of the Day. Today we end our one-week look at how you can up your compliance game by talking about a roadmap for compliance going forward. This roadmap was laid out by LRN in their annual Ethics and Compliance Effectiveness Report. The report detailed 4 key findings which are symptomatic of an operationalized compliance program. I had the privilege to interview Susan Divers when she was then a senior advisor at LRN. She's now an advisor at Athena, and noted the overarching theme is that ethics and compliance programs centered on values are more effective than ones that are not. A values-based approach towards shaping culture emphasizes and sets expectations, not just about what you can and cannot do, but rather what you should do and should not be done in alignment with your core beliefs. A rules-based environment is just that, rules, but a values-based environment, it's everyone's job to do the right next thing, act ethically. The most effective E&C programs are embedded in their business operations. This means that if you think about ethics and compliance and values a part of your brand, it will really drive this down into your organization. Think of it as a holistic. The most successful E&C programs use a variety of channels to convert guidance into practice. An effective compliance program communicates in a variety of styles. How about a podcast? Well, you're listening to one now. How about one for your organization and your compliance function going forward? This speaks to upwards and downwards communication. It can be from your direct reports, or you can be up as well. At LRN, they're not as fond about tone at the top. They were fonder of actions at the top, because actions obviously speak louder than words, and that's still true, and it's even more so true now in the chaos of compliance that we're seeing right now. Finally, high-performing programs proactively convert regulatory guidance into practice. We still have the ECCP, and you still can create or impact that or lead that to your compliance programs. And high-performing programs spread their impact broadly, recognizing that the entire organization should be engaged. Engagement's been one of the key themes throughout this week's compliance tips of the day, but that engagement with compliance, both internally and up the chain back up to compliance, can be a critical component for you going forward. So, what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, your compliance program should be embedded in your employee base. 2, innovation and compliance leadership is recognizing the bilateral nature of power and communication. And 3, a feedback loop can be used both in leadership and compliance to help fully engage your employee base on a go-forward basis. I hope you've enjoyed this 1 week of tips to improve and up your game in compliance. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network. Finally, this podcast contains promotional material.